What's up guys, Arizona Survival here. Today we're going to be talking about some really cheap crap. I've got a few things from China that we are going to talk about. Now the first thing, we'll set those aside. The first thing is this. This is a round knife sharpener. There we go. Sorry about that. It's got Chinese writing over it, and it's very cheap, less than like $3. Now it looks pretty good, but in all honesty, this thing is the worst thing in the world. If you are looking to dull your knives, destroy them, or any extra, or just something to screw with, this is what I would buy. Now how this works is, let me grab a crappy knife. You set it on its side and you literally just put your knife in there and you pull on it. And it does absolutely nothing. Now if we take a screwdriver, I will show you why I have kept this. So it's actually built well, but the whole concept of this thing is crap. Now this is exactly what I did with mine. So on the sides you have these stainless steel, not even stainless steel, these, I have no idea honestly. They're really shiny though. They might actually be stainless steel. They're very thin, I can easily break them. But you can even see in the camera there, it's got some shine to it, so you know, you can totally use this for signaling. It's got a little hole that you can look through and everything. It comes with two of these. So that is exactly what I did with mine. And this plastic stuff, I don't even know if that is honestly plastic. Like the way that it feels. And my other one, I actually had to saw this part off. I sawed some of this off and I stuck this on to use it as a field sharpener. I cut it down there and I would just take my knife, this part wouldn't be there, and go around the circle. And that is the only way that this thing is really worth your while. If you really want, you can lay it down and do it along this side, but there is no smooth side, so there is no fine edge to smoothing your knife. It is all grit. It's very crappy grit, but this thing is really thick. It's strong. It's all the way through. So it is a pretty decent sharpener if you take this plastic stuff off. But as I was sawing this plastic stuff wouldn't even stay on the floor. It was up in the air and everything. I'm almost sure there's probably maybe like asbestos or something terrible. But if you ever end up buying one of these, don't use it as a sharpener unless you take it apart, or if you just want these pieces out of it. They are cheap online. In my opinion, these are the crappiest sharpeners I have ever seen. I would rather trust the dollar store sharpeners that you buy that are already pretty much broken. I'd rather use that than this. Now the second thing I got from China are these Echo knives. And I usually get a lot of my knives from China, and they usually are pretty good. These were each $5 a piece. They come in different things. I got one in black, and I got one in this wooden color. So black in the wooden color. Sorry, I keep going off to the side with the camera. And all in all, this is not an unboxing at all, but the wooden one was broken when I received it, so I tried to take it apart, and when I put it back together, it just didn't work at all. Like, it almost seemed like these things were supposed to be spring assisted, but somewhere along the line they didn't, and I just threw it away. Like, I didn't want to deal with it. It was $5. I said screw it. The wooden one sucked. This one is not that bad. I don't know exactly what I would use this for. It might even be a gift. I don't know. I owe somebody if I ever end up owing somebody, I might just give them this. It's a decent build, actually. See, it says Echo on there, and it says stainless steel in China. The blade goes straight out. I didn't come with any specs, no manual. I got in the box. This thing came. The wooden one didn't even come with any plastic around it. This one did. It came with a little crappy plastic bag, and that was it. And I took this one apart because it was all gunked up. It looked like it was used, and I cleaned it. But it's got a lot of pieces in it, so I don't know. If I ever end up needing another screw, I'll probably take it off of this. But for $5, this one is not that bad. But when you order these, you have no idea if you're going to get a good one or a bad one. It is tip up carry. I don't know if you can see this up here, but there's checkered padding on this one, so it's got good grip on the side. The wooden one does not. It's very thin, slips a lot when I got it. This one isn't bad. The blade play is very terrible. Like, I tighten this thing all the way up and it literally just rocks back and forth. This thumb stud here is screw-in and it's not even good. It comes right out. I've even used pliers to tighten it, and it comes off all the time. There is some jimping up here for your thumb. The jimping is great. That's all I can say. But if I was ever to use this knife, I would literally dismantle it and, I don't know, slip it in something. Say if I ever needed it for a survival thing, stick it, cut my bug out bag in the bottom or something and slip this blade in there just in case. It's not spring assisted. It does come with this thumb stud here, but if you want to use it, then this thing has to be all, like, the screw is almost out by the time you can literally use the thumb stud to flip it. It's not a big thumb stud, and even if you used a wrist flick routine to get it all the way open, it won't even come through with it. The lock is the first time I've actually ever seen this on a liner lock knife. It doesn't have like the little jimping in there and the little piece of metal. It's actually got this big bulky square thing that comes out the side. See, that's where the knife is, and this top thing is the lock. And you do the same thing, you push it aside and it goes, but this is just a really terrible knife. If for a tip up carry even. It does go right down the middle. It's hard to see. Oh, there we go. See, it's got great lockup. It doesn't touch the sides. It stays right in the middle. But the problem even is that it's a tip up carry. This thing can easily come out, even though that you can't use it to spring the knife open with the thumb stud. For some reason, it goes out to here really easily. And it doesn't go deep into the knife. It sits right in there, so if it came out just even like a millimeter or less, I could hit it with my finger. So if I were to carry this down, and even when I'm walking, if it just came out just like that, I could cut my side and cut my leg open. Just terrible knife, in my opinion. Some people might have other opinions about these Echo knives, depending on what you're using with them, but for everyday carry, I would not recommend this at all. Now that's for these two versions. These two kind of stiletto looking knives, I've seen other reviews on, and people were saying that those were decent knives. But as for these two, I would never recommend to anybody. So that is the cheap China Echo knife and knife sharpening review. So stay tuned for other videos. I will be coming out with some more and a really cool way to carry a knife on your wrist later on in